Well, here I am, you guys, coveting my neighbor's garden. There's a lot of low-hanging fruit around here. Beautiful citrus fruit. I love this time of year. Oh, there's a car. So lest I get caught, I suppose it's better to ask for permission. But ooh, I'm so tempted right now to grab one of these guys. Yum. Oh, a whole bunch up there. Welcome to the Bag Hag Digest. Hello beautiful bag lovers, it's Trina. Welcome back to my channel. So seeing as we're still in January at this point in time, at least when I'm recording, I figured I'd do a best of 2019 and worst. In other words, what bags I used most and least over the course of the last year. So in my particular situation, the bags that I'm gonna have used most will be those that I carried with me to work. So right away I'm eliminating a lot of the funkier, smaller items that really aren't that practical. And also, I'm also probably eliminating a lot of the more colorful ones. Mind you, I don't have that many colorful bags. Most of my bags are black, but that's one thing to keep in mind. Another thing is that I actually, compared to other bag lovers, don't actually have that many bags in my collection. If I find myself not using a bag, I tend to want to put it up for sale, and if it sells, that leaves room for something else that I might love more. So if I haven't used something in over a year's time, maybe as little as 6 months, then it's kind of putting it on the chopping board in my eye. Another thing that happened this year that changed my bag usage habits and choices this year happened last September, and I talked about it in one of my videos, but essentially I've been without a driver's license for the past few months, and that has changed the choices of bags I used. So whereas my top choice would normally always go to my Speedy, which is over there in that corner, I'll go get it. So my Speedy that I painted, love this bag. It's a great work choice when you're driving. You can just carry it, carries a lot of stuff. It's very lightweight, but you don't need to carry it long term when it's in the car with you. So when I'm having to walk a lot or bike a lot or whatever, handheld satchels are not my first choice. So as of September, this little guy hasn't been getting a lot of use, sadly, but until that time it did. So it still makes my top 5 choices for most used bags. A second bag that I used a lot in 2019 was this Rebecca Minkoff bag. This is the Jumbo Love bag, just because it's such a workhorse and it looks good with everything, casual or work, or you know, and it's totally my style. I love the graphic elements of it. I love the fact that it's very Chanel-esque without being Chanel, yet it's got its own vibe to it. I love the fact that you can wear it over the shoulder, you can wear it crossbody even for someone of my height, and that you can double up the chains and make the shoulder straps shorter. So this bag is starting to get a little old, unfortunately. These contemporary brands don't last as long as the luxury ones, so eventually I'm gonna either pass this on for something more hard wearing, or I don't know, when it gets really nasty I'll probably let go of it. But for now it's still good, so it's still in my collection, still one of my top 5 handbags of last year anyway. For my smaller bag main choice, when I was doing the gold thing, this was often the bag that I grabbed for, because it does pretty much fit everything. Love the new strap that I got recently for it. Definitely been a top player for 2019, and I'm sure it will be moving forward as well. Love the Eva clutch. Really sad that you can't get this anymore. It's a downer because it's a fabulous little bag. Now this bag here, this is another Louis Vuitton, which is in silver and black. This did not make it to my top 5 or my lower 3 or 5 or how many I've got here. It's kind of in the middle because it is still a practical bag. This is one of my oldest designer bags in my collection. Still love it, still use it. I just wanted to give a mention to it because it's very similar to this one, but I just happen to be wearing more gold, and I could easily have worn this instead, but a lot of the times it ended up being this one. Okay, next is my Proenza Schooler suede bag, and this didn't get a lot of use in the summer or the spring of 2019. However, since my driver's license event, I've put this to really good use. Also it being fall and more winter oriented, and also being casual and also work appropriate. And actually, although being quite small, being able to stuff quite a lot into it made this a really good winner for 2019. I had trouble choosing number 5 on my top worn handbags for last year, but I ended up going, thinking a lot about it and realizing that I did wear this one quite a lot. This is a Prada 1990s nylon pouch. I fixed it up a bit. Originally it just had these plastic or resin straps on it, but I got it secondhand in old condition. One of the chains was cracked, so I thought, I could do something with this. And I cracked it open, went to my leather worker, got this strap made, and now it's a bit long actually as a crossbody bag, even by my standards, but it's great. And it's very casual, very edgy, and very lightweight, and very obviously weather resistant, it being vinyl, and very understated because you can barely see the Prada, so I like that. And a really tough, durable bag. I don't want to ever get rid of this one either. So those are my top 5 used bags for 2019. Now let's move over to the least used. And no surprise, these are more colorful and smaller ones. That doesn't mean I didn't love them. It just means the opportunity to use them was less. So for example, this gorgeous little Furla number, pink, I'd have to work a little harder to coordinate this one, and it's still, you can fit a lot in it, but it's still small. And I have worn it a few times to work, but then I have to carry extra stuff with me. But it worked. Yeah, cute, but not that used this year. Along the same lines, this Christian Dior, what's it called, lock pouch. It's kind of like a walk, but a little bit bigger capacity. This one's really old and the color's fading. It should be like a beige, but it's yellowed a little bit. I'm thinking of dyeing this one. Don't want to sell it. I still really love it. The chain that I got for it to replace the one that was too short is great. It is kind of on the chopping board though, because I've only used it a couple of times, but it's a beautiful bag. Next is a bag that was on my 2019 wish list for the start of last year, and I ended up finding the bag and getting it, much to my joy, and it's this Longchamp crossbody bag in red, like a cherry red. And I love this, and I have used it, but just not that often, basically because, again, it's a little harder to coordinate and because of the capacity. But it is really a great travel bag, and I do plan to use it more specifically for that, I think, because even if I have a bigger bag that I'll use more often for travel, putting this in the suitcase weighs nothing, takes up no space, and definitely can come in handy. And I really have to make an effort to use more of this bag because it's cute. I like it. So those are my bottom 3 bags. I'm putting this one in the middle, so not top, not bottom, but I wanted to mention it also. It is small, and as a result, it might be getting used less over the long term, but I have been using it since I bought it fairly recently. So it's another reason it's hard to gauge the top used bags and the least used bags, because I'm always getting new bags and getting rid of bags and always circulating bags. And there's a lot I haven't mentioned, obviously, in my collection. But that is what I assess to be the case at this moment in time. So that's it for the video, you guys. Bag Hag signing out. Mwah.